Hi, I'm Dr. Kat Smith, and I am a healthy woman inside and out.
Hi there, my name is Lydia Bordeaux, and I am a healthy woman inside and out.
My name is Georgette, and I am a healthy woman inside and out.
Thank you for joining us on The Healthy Woman Inside and Out. This show is for women, about women. I will tell you, it doesn't matter what you're going through, you're going to hear some amazing stories from women who have been through something, but yet they managed to get through it. I know that might be you. You might be going through something or have been through something and you just want to get through it. Well, The Healthy Woman Inside and Out want to help you on that journey. Or you might say, that's me, I've been there, I've experienced that. So I just want to tell you right now, if you're watching this show, you are a healthy woman inside and out. Welcome to The Healthy Woman Inside and Out. Today's show is going to be about the ABCs of intimacy. And I'm really excited about our guest today, Kat Smith. Kat, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, Kat, tell us, you're going to be talking to us about the ABCs of intimacy. What are the ABCs of intimacy?
Well, first of all, I want to explain that sex and intimacy are two different things.
Okay.
A lot of people confuse the two. Sex is a physical act. It is an expression of the desire you feel for someone, because we all know that love sometimes has nothing to do with it.
Do right.
The other song, you know. But intimacy is so much more. Intimacy is trust, affection, care, support, nurturing, respect. You know, there's so much. And from A to Z, I speak about that in my new book, The ABCs of Intimacy. And because I want people to really understand that intimacy is the foundation for which relationships are built upon.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you feel that people have more of sex than intimacy in their relationship because they don't understand what intimacy is all about?
Well, you know, not a whole lot of people are having a lot of sex.
Oh, okay.
You know, they want you to believe that.
Okay.
But the average person is not having sex once a week.
Really?
Okay, so, but when we confuse intimacy with sex, we end up having that empty feeling or feeling lonely inside of a relationship because what's missing is the other stuff.
Okay.
Because sex, on the average, the actual act, not the foreplay, is about 7 minutes. Okay, so what do you do with the rest of that time? Okay, what do you have? What substantial characteristics of that relationship stand alone from the sex?
So would you say it's the foreplay?
No, it's the trust, it's the affection, the care, the bonding, the investment of time, the dedication. You know, there's so much more that intimacy is all about. I do an intimacy wheel, and it talks about, you know, at the core is love. Mm-hmm. But all of the spokes that go out have, you know, these different terms on the end of it because that's what intimacy represents. You can be in the proximity of someone that's an intimate space. You could tell someone an intimate secret or intimate, you know, desire that you have. But intimacy in itself is all of these different ingredients, and I say it's a love cocktail. You know, when you put all of these ingredients together,
Right.
It's wonderful because, you know, everybody wants and needs, okay, and you can't have one without the other. There's a lot of women that'll say, "Oh, I want a man, but I don't need a man," you know. And, you know, they kind of have an attitude about it.
Right,
you know?
right.
It's like, excuse me? Everybody wants to be needed, and you can't have one without the other, because if you want someone, you need them to want you back. And men, they have this thing about they need to be wanted, you know? And would you want to be with someone who doesn't want you, who doesn't need you?
No, that's a
Okay.
good question.
Yeah. It's like you can't have one without the other.
And so you're saying we can't have one without the other. And you got two people together, they live under the same roof together, and they don't share the intimacy. What happens?
Well, okay. First of all, we got to understand, no one's given a love 101 book when they start engaging in relationships. So we have to start with ourselves. And we have to figure out what our love, I call it a love perspective. Okay. What are our views on love, sex, and romance? Because it's influenced by so many different things. Religion, our communities, our families, tradition, ethnicity, culture, regional location, because the South is totally different from the North. So when you look at all of these things that influence your views and then your life experiences, all of that influence how you look at love, sex, and romance. So when you look at that and you can honestly say, okay, this is my truth. This is what I believe, and this is how I see the opposite sex or the same sex that I want to be in a relationship. Again, we self-identify ourselves of what, sexual orientation that we are. So, however you're going to be out there looking at this other person that you want to engage, you got to understand that they got all of this stuff that you're trying to blend together into one relationship. You've got their life experiences, their family and culture, their traditions, their gender, and all of their stuff. You trying to blend it to where it works, perfectly. Like all the cogs are just fitting together in this well-oiled machine. And it doesn't always work that way. It doesn't always work that way. You have to work at it. But love is easy. Relationships are what are the challenge, because that's when you're starting to, blend all of this stuff together.
Would you say, and I know, growing up, does it start within the household, within the family cycle? From what they see mother and father do, or what they see mother do, because now we got a lot of single parents. And like you said, same-sex marriages, we have that now. If we don't see that then, and we grow out into the world, and we see as our concept or our perspective of intimacy based on what we learn from others?
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. It's all influenced by all of that. But intimacy starts at infancy. The relationship that mother builds with that child, all of the terms that I just say that you would share with a love partner, you share with those you love. Trust, respect, affection, caring, loving language, that's another one. How we speak to each other is so important. You can't be telling me, oh, you're just an idiot. I can't believe you're doing, or you're so stupid. Why don't you know how to, you can't talk to your partner that way and expect them to love to flow, because love is an energy. Okay. And the infinity symbol. It's like an 8 that's on the side. So if you look at that, it's an energy and it has to continually flow. But when you are doing stuff that blocks that energy, like being negative and not being trustworthy and honest and not being respectful and not being caring and loving and all of those things, you can block that energy. It bounces right back to the person who's trying to give it. So if they're not getting that coming back to them, then it's, that connection is going to be totally lost. Okay? But you ever been around someone that when you touch them, they kind of like, it doesn't feel good. It's like almost like an electric shock. It's because because the pattern of affection hasn't been set in them. And it's most likely it's because of when they were growing up as a child, they didn't receive that.
Yeah, you made me think about, because I'm a very affectionate person, and I'll just hug anybody. I mean, I love hugs. And I remember one time I was in a meeting, and when the meeting ended, one of the women that I was in the meeting with immediately jumped up and gave me a hug. So I thought it was okay to hug the other person. So when I went to give her a hug, she backed up.
Yeah.
It was like, no, like, I immediately got the vibe, like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
Would you say that has something to do with something that may be going on in her life, that maybe she has blocked the fact that I don't want that affection?
Well, it could be a couple things, because she was in more a business setting. She could have thought, well, that's inappropriate for the setting. But it could be that she's not used to just people being affectionate to her. And that's what I'm saying. You have to, being able to receive affection. Okay, so how a person, I'll say it like this, how a person expresses love is how they're also willing to receive it. So if they're more in verbally expressing love, then they receive it that way. If they do things like wash your car, take out the trash, those kind of things, which men show their affection and their love by doing things.
Okay.
A lot of times. So if they're doing things, well, that's how they receive love. Okay. But if another good example of when you know that affection is not something that has been prominent in someone's life is when, he gives you that look, or he comes and he touches you, caresses you really softly. Oh, he just wants sex.
And that's not necessarily
necessarily true.
Right.
It's how you're receiving that message from that touch, from that look, because it's not a daily thing. It's not a usual thing for him to touch you or give you those loving looks. He may just want to snuggle. He may just want that connection. He may want intimacy. Okay? But you translate that to sex. And now you get resentful because,
that's all he wants.
That's all he wants. The only time he's affectionate is when he wants sex. So there's that difference. Again, when you're trying to blend lifestyles, and all of your stuff with someone else. That's why I say, be affectionate to your children. Let them know that, hugs and kisses are normal and natural. Not from the appropriate people, not, just someone off the street coming, let me give you a hug, little girl, we want to protect our kids from that. But, around the people that they love, constant hugs, not only when they hurt themselves, you go running over, let mommy kiss it, and, okay, you're okay. And then you run, send them on their way. No, constantly, when they're doing their homework, go and rub their back and say, oh, you're doing such a good job. Kiss their head, and then walk away. But just let them know on a daily basis that touching, affectionate touches and just giving them love and hugs and, caresses, that is normal. And it helps them to be a healthy adult when it comes to intimacy.
It's funny because I was just thinking about that, and I think my wanting to hug people and give them a hug, and I mean nothing by it. It's just that, hey, I want to give you a hug, and it's like I had someone tell me, "Oh, I wish I had somebody hug me," and I'm thinking to myself, well, you do, because every time you meet somebody, if you give them a hug, you'll get a hug back.
Yeah.
But I grew up in a family where my father was very loving, very hugging, very touchy. So, if it was outside the household, somebody might take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
But my father was, he was just a loving, kissing person. And he loved and kissed on all of us. And it was 5 of us. 4 girls and 1 boy. But he never treated one different than the other. But it was that bonding process that we got from him that let us know that it was okay to love.
Yeah, and it is. And we have guidelines, I'll say guidelines, and boundaries that we have to set, especially like in workplaces. Right. Because you don't want someone to take it the wrong way.
That's true. That's so true.
You have, some boundaries that we have to set. However, if you're an affectionate person, you can always say, can I give you a hug?
Right.
You just look like you get, I did it. I worked in a government office, and I was like, because I always sensed that there were people that seemed to be invisible. And I never wanted someone around me to feel invisible. So there was a guy, he wasn't quite all there mentally, but he was a veteran. So he experienced some things and he went and fought for me. Okay. So I'm going to acknowledge him. And every time he would pass my desk and I would say, hi, and it got to the point where every time he passed and he was like, hi, Kat, and so he came out of his shell and he wasn't invisible any longer. And, and then it worked up to where I go, oh, Wesley, give me a hug, and so it was just really interesting that others didn't feel comfortable doing that. We're human beings. Come on.
Absolutely.
You don't have to. I didn't think that he would ever go and tell, oh, Kat, hug me, and I'm going to report her. he just wants to be acknowledged. And I think that's the problem, where there's so much fear, because I think there's so much confusion about what love is and what is intimate and what is appropriate, that we have clouded everything up. But if we understand, that we're all the same, we all want love. I mean, think about how many songs is written about love,
yes,
poems,
yes,
movies are done.
yes.
I mean, it's a universal force that we all share. Now, we want it differently. We want it to look, smell, taste, and feel differently. Okay, but we all want love.
So, Kat, let me ask you, what is love?
Love is different for everybody, but it is a feeling. It is a euphoric state of being. I mean, because, when you fall in love, I mean, you say love is blind. You don't see the faults in the person. You don't, everything is just wonderful. You're in this state. It's like a drug. It gets you on a high, and all of these wonderful hormones is flowing through your body. And you're just like, oh, life is just beautiful. Okay. And that's why when your heart gets broken, oh my God, you got to wean yourself off of those drugs, because your body's not getting all of those wonderful hormones anymore. So now it starts to slow down, and you got to, you're weaning yourself off of all of that. Okay. But relationships don't have to end that way. If we look at who we are interested in a little bit closer, that's why I came up after having my show with ABC Radio. I actually came up with a game called Intimate Foreplay. Right. And it's a card game for couples, and it helps them get to know each other on a deeper level. And it's fun, and I figure, people know how to plug in for sex, okay? I don't need to go into the details of, okay, this is how you do it. But they do need dialogue. They need to get to know each other. What makes them really tick? What were some things that they learned from their parents about love and sex and romance, or what's their favorite love song, and what is one of your dreams that you had as a little kid? A lot of couples just don't really get to know each other.
Now, when you brought that up, because I have the card game, and I loved it, because when you first came out with it, I thought, that's a great way for people to connect and get to know each other and learn about each other, because you have people that have been with each other for years and don't really know who they're with.
Yes.
But that card game was really, really something that helped me with a couple of relationships. And I can say, hey, I will pull that game out and let's play, you know. But I got to learn that person on a deeper level, as opposed to here's the surface, because we always meet someone's representative, but we don't really know their character.
Exactly.
What would you say about that?
Well, again, we have to really think about, okay, when we really know who we are and be authentic with who we are, find out our truth. All of these things have influenced how you view love, sex, and romance, and the opposite sex. So when you really sit down and get quiet, turn off the TV, be quiet, get off the internet, get off your, devices, and just pay attention to yourself. And just really think about what you believe and what you've been putting out there into the universe, because, how you're behaving, people see that. So if you're mean and nasty, or, gossipy, or, you're selfish, or all these things, that's not encouraging for someone to want to be with you. Right. So what are you doing to sabotage your prospects for being in a relationship, or, damaging your relationships? So really be honest with yourself and figure out what you're doing. Who are you? What you need, and what do you offer? And then you reflect that. So if you want affection, you have to be affectionate. If you want trust, you have to be trustworthy. If you want honesty, you got to be an honest person yourself. So if you reflect those things, then you can attract that kind of person. And it will be like you put up a shield towards anyone who is not of those things that you want. But you have to create your love vision. That's what we call love vision.
I like that.
Sit with the idea of, how do you want a relationship to be? How do you want to live in a love relationship? How affectionate do you want to be? See yourself in, with someone. You don't have to put a face on him yet or her yet. Sit with the idea of what you want your relationship to be like and spend some time each day thinking about that. And you can manifest that. You can have that in your life, but it has to be an idea first before you can manifest it.
When you said that, immediately what I thought about was Cinderella.
Yeah.
Cinderella. Because, here's this girl, she's being treated bad by her stepmother and her stepsisters, but she visualized being in love. She visualized being with someone who loved her because she knew that from her father.
Yeah.
And because she experienced that from her father, what she was experiencing after her father's death was not what she was familiar with. But then coming in fruition or in the presence of Prince Charming, then she saw just exactly what she visualized for herself, and she got it.
Yeah, and also she was still kind, and she was still caring. She was, genuine.
That never left her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was true to herself. She was her authentic self. But her Prince Charming happened to be a prince, but there's a perfect man for everyone. He doesn't have to be perfect in his imagery. He doesn't have to be who can I think of? Let's see. Denzel Washington. He doesn't have to be a Denzel Washington perfect,
Okay.
But he will be perfect for you because he'll be loving and caring and all of these wonderful things that you need a person to be. Okay, so we need to get off of that thing of trying to get the diamond on the ring and become the diamond ourselves.
Because we are diamonds.
Yes, we are. We, when you think about the 4 C's of a diamond, we have character. What is the cut of your character?
Absolutely.
Do you color your world?
Right.
What is the carat of of your heart? The weight of your heart space. And then what is the cut? Oh, clarity. Do you have vision? Are you clear in your vision? So when you think about the 4 C's of a diamond, you are a diamond. Let your brilliance shine through, and stop looking for the
And
diamond on your finger.
All of us.
And
all of us have diamonds in our backyard. We just don't go and pick them out. We just don't go and pick them up.
Yeah, and then some of us just,
diamonds in the rough.
walk over the coal,
Yeah.
Because we think it's not a diamond. And, all he is just a hardworking man. And he,
And he might be just that Prince Charming that
Yeah.
we need in our lives, but we just walk over it because we feel like, oh, that's not the one for me. How do you know which one is the one for you?
well, I think each person meets that one special person in their life differently. So I don't say, don't go to the clubs. I don't say, go, when it's time for them to cross your path, they're going to cross your path. But you got to work on yourself first. Dr. Wayne Dyer says this thing, and he uses this analogy. He says, okay, if someone asks you how does a mango taste, and you've never tasted mango, how can you, honestly tell them what a mango, or make them understand what a mango tastes like? Well, if you don't know love for yourself, how can you express love for others? You have to truly know love for yourself. And then by knowing that love and embracing that love and holding that love in your heart, you can then, like I said, that energy of love will flow and it'll flow back to you. But you have to know love for yourself.
What would you tell our listening audience about love? How can women, because in my book, The Healthy Woman Inside and Out, I talk about love and family. So how can women really get a true sense of love, not just for themselves, but even being able to love others? Because in fact, I know a lot of women have been hurt in relationships and they feel like, oh, like you said, I don't want a man, I can do it all by myself. Well, yeah, we can bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan. But hey, reality is we still need to be loved. So we shouldn't give up on love because we've been hurt. What would you tell our listening audience about what they can do in terms of love?
Well, first of all, a lot of women don't cook anymore, so they ain't frying up that bacon. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They're quick to tell you that I don't cook.
Right,
I'm
but they
like,
should. They should.
and that's one of my pastimes. I love to cook.
Okay.
I love to cook because I love good food, and could just really get into that. But there's a lot of women today that'll tell you, and they're proud to tell you that they don't cook. And but what I can say on that is that we have to stay in our feminine energy. A man who is heterosexual and is interested in women wants to come home to his opposite. Not a boardroom executive, not the woman running, the foreman that's running the shift. He wants his wife. Softness, feminine energy. Okay? And then let him be the man. Don't break him down. Don't make him feel less than he is. Okay? Let him be the masculine energy. Let him open the doors for you. Pick up heavy things. Fix things around the house. You don't have to do everything. You're not Superwoman. Okay? Be in your feminine energy. Okay? Be the loving person. If it does get to the point where you're yelling and screaming at each other, just stop. Breathe. And just say to yourself, I love this person, and I'm not going to talk to him like that. I'm not going to talk to her like that. Let's stop right here. We're better than this. I know you love me. I love you. Let's just stop. We'll take a break. You go one end of the house, I'll go to the other end of the house, and we'll just give each other a break for right now. And you'll be surprised at just being present and knowing that, okay, we can salvage this. We don't have to tear the house down because something went wrong today. I think we get so caught up. I mean, we see so much stuff on television. We have these grand ideas of what love is supposed to be about.
Based on what we see on television.
Yes. And, you're not Kim Kardashian or Britney Spears.
Okay.
He's not, Brad Pitt. We're average, everyday people just trying to blend two lives together, or however many, your family, you're trying to blend things together and make it run smoothly.
Now, I know you have a book coming out, ABCs of Intimacy. Is
Yes.
that it? Tell us about that.
It's a gift book, and it actually gives you 2 terms for each letter of the alphabet, and they all support the whole idea of intimacy. So it also is an interactive book. So if you go online, at the end of the book, it tells you there is a calendar that you can download, a PDF that's free of, because you bought the book. And you can go and you can actually start implementing some of these terms into your life, into your relationship. So.
And I know that you send out an e-newsletter from time to time. I've
Yes.
gotten that. Okay.
Yes, and anyone can join my list. They can go to
Okay.
drkatsmith.com. That's DRKAT Smith.com, and just join my list. And I send out. Oh, and there's freebies on my site. I mean, you can go online and you don't even have to sign up for those. You can just go on my site, and there's some inspiring posters and postcards that you can download for free.
Okay, great. So, again, tell our listening audience how they can get in contact with you.
Yeah, it's drkatsmith.com, and I have a load of videos and blog posts that they can also read, and videos and things that I've done.
Well, Kat, I'd like to thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you.
I mean, it's been a pleasure and a real education for me.
I love my job.
And you also do seminars and workshops as well, right?
Yes, I am a speaker, so I travel all over the country speaking at, internationally. So
Okay.
I'm all over the place.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You can contact Dr. Kat Smith at drkatsmith.com. And also, I want to tell you about The Healthy Woman Inside and Out. It was a book that I wrote during the time that I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And this book actually I brought out in the year 2000. And this is now the second printing of the book. But I brought this book back out because in November of 2014, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And it was like the Lord said, you need to bring this book back out because you are a healthy woman inside and out. So I want to tell each and every one of you that's watching this show that you are a healthy woman inside and out. And in September or October of this year, we'll be bringing out the healthy man inside and out, because men can be healthy from the inside and out as well. I also want to tell you about some of our products, which are body scrubs, which is for women. And the body scrubs actually are letting you know that you can actually exfoliate some of that dead skin and become healthy from the outside as well as on the inside, because you can feel good about yourself. So we have right now the body scrubs in lemon and orange flavor. So feel free to go to our website. That's www.aquariuscreation, publishing.com. Again, that's Aquarius Creation, Creation, publishing.com. And until next week, we look forward and we want to say thank you for watching the show, The Healthy Woman Inside and Out.